we've had some girls here on the show who go to UCSB, 19-year-old girls, right? Bro, they got NFL players, NBA players, blue check marks in their DMs, like very high status men. You think a 19-year-old college guy is going to be able to compete? Like it's just totally different now. I mean, I'm sure you guys have guys with blue check marks in your DMs, right?
On my old account I did, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to say who, but like give athletes, NBA players, NFL, musicians.
I did have a guy who was in my DMs who was he had a pretty big show on the Food Network.
Bourdain? Before he
Rest in peace.
Chef
No, it's
Ramsay.
not Bourdain.
Okay.
But like, yeah.
Yeah. Wait,
and then
who's
I've
the
had
guy
some
with
rappers
who's
in my
the
DMs.
who's the guy with the
The
bleached hair?
Guy Fieri.
Guy Fieri, was it him?
No.
Okay.
I can't say.
It was him. Okay, just kidding. NFL players,
Rappers?
rappers. Okay, what about you?
I had this social media content creator. He makes like vlogs on YouTube, but he has a wife.
Logan Paul?
No.
The guy who asked to be
No.
pegged? Okay.
No.
Okay. What about you? Any blue check marks?
No.
Okay, what about you? Any blue check marks on Instagram?
None.
In your DMs?
So, like,
Okay.
that
You
comes
guys
back.
you guys are fairly young though. You're 18. Give it time. The blue check mark DMs will come. But like most guys, like they're not getting hit up by women with blue check marks in their DMs. Most guys aren't even getting DM'd
Guys'
to begin
Instagram
with.
profiles are crazy. Like, let's touch on that first, because you guys
Crazy?
be holding fish from 2016.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing, but like,
Yeah,
how
what's
you have
wrong
to,
with the fish
like,
thing?
Sell yourself a little bit at least. Like, you just, like, you guys have no updated pictures, like, nothing to show for on your account. How are you expected to get like hit up when your latest picture is from like 2018?
You know what though? As a girl, I actually think you should look at that guy and think he's not super caught up in the social media thing. Like that might be a guy who's probably less inclined to just hit and quit it.
So why would I bother sliding into his DMs over an Instagram app that he doesn't use?
So, okay, you're saying that you don't you don't DM guys
no, just,
because
like,
their Instagrams
hypothetically-
aren't popping, like that's
No,
it?
I'm just saying hypothetically, like, of course women who are averagely like more active on Instagram are gonna get more people, specifically blue check marks, in their Instagram DMs if they're posting more pictures up to date, you know, than like a man who doesn't have as much on his Instagram. Of course, a woman specifically with a blue check mark isn't gonna like slide into their DMs that way. They don't even know they exist most likely because they're not active on the app.
Well, I mean, I will give you that. Like, guys probably are not really on their photo game as well as a lot of women are.
Right.
Maybe that's because men, they might just not care as much.
Right,
But
yeah.
yeah, I mean, sure, maybe guys should step it up and market themselves to appear more appealing, or actually, you know, show their. But what's with the fish thing? You don't like?
That was just like a
I
funny
see a lot of
example.
girls on the dating app say, "Don't have a fish pic."
No, I think that's just like a funny example, like especially like with our age group. That's like men. It's just like a funny,
It's like a joke.
like a little
Yeah.
joke. Like,
Wait, how did we get onto that though?
because you asked about the blue check mark, and you said
Oh,
that like
right,
men
right,
are
right.
less likely to have blue check marks in their DMs, and I said
Yeah,
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 because
yeah.
their Instagrams are crazy.
I guess, but like I would say the girls at UCSB, right? There's probably a bunch of dudes in their DMs who have blue check marks. There's probably a very few guys at UCSB, even really attractive guys, that are getting hit up like that. Even just regular DMs, like. Let me ask. I'm curious. How many? I mean, you guys are kind of out there in the ether in terms of, like, you're out there on social media, so you're probably going to get a lot of DMs and stuff. But how often do you get DMs from guys that are like hitting you up, maybe for a date, or that it's clear that they're interested in you?
A lot, like daily.
How many per day? How many DMs per day would you say you get?
Now that Instagram has this feature where it's like if you don't follow them, it just goes straight to like
The hidden folder.
Yeah, and then like every once in a while, I'll just go through and just like mass delete all of them. I don't really read those messages anymore because I get a lot of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, like daily.
Like, would you say 10 a day?
Probably, yeah, maybe like 10 to 20 a day or something.
Jade, what about you?
I don't really count, but something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have no blue
Any-
check marks.
No,
like,
just regular DMs from guys.
regular DMs. Not many. I
Okay.
DM my friends and like that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say I have quite a few.
Quite a few.
Like,
Okay.
often, yeah.
Yeah, most guys, like, they're not getting hit up in the same way that women are getting hit up.
How often do
Right.
you get hit up in the DMs?
I've had 2 girls in my entire life DM me.
Wow. And did you go out with them?
They weren't even in fucking California. One chick was in Canada.
Uh-huh.
Was it you? No.
That might have been me.
Yeah. One chick was in Canada. One was in Chicago, and they're not gonna like fly out. So, and I'm on social media too. Like I'm kind of out there. So, 2 girls
What about the girls that you pick up in your pranks?
in the videos.
Yeah.
I mean, my philosophy was that my philosophy with that was it's bad for business.
What? So you don't? It's bad for business because.
If they're like in the video,
Uh-huh.
and then I start dating them, I don't want them like to. If I'm dating them, then they're gonna come and say, "Take me out of the video. I don't want to be in the video." Blah blah blah. So there were maybe a couple girls that I was like, "Oh, she's really cute. I like her personality. I'll pursue it." But most of the girls in the videos, like, it's strictly business. I'm not gonna like try to pursue it.
Your stuff is mostly geared towards like males. It's like prank stuff.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
yeah.
that explains it too, because like the vast majority of my audience, it's like 80-90% men. So if I was gay, then I'd be fucking killing it.
You would.
I see you guys in the chat.
You can kill it without being gay, but just cater like
Cater to the men.
yeah. There's a lot of guys that have
For
OFs
sure.
that are like not gay, but also cater to the gay male audience, and they do very well.
Yeah, and there's definitely guys who are on social media who do YouTube, do Twitch, and they have a decent female following, and then yeah, they're gonna get DMs from women, but yeah. Anyways, okay, so let's do some super chats. Let's see. Oh, we were talking about marriage too. The other thing, you made a point that I wanted to respond to, but I forgot what it was. Something women are making all their money. I'm trying to remember what it was. I think the point I was going to make is that as far as women making their own money and like how that plays out in a relationship, for the most part, women don't share their resources with men the same way that men share their resources with women. Oh, I remember. You said in marriage, if you're both bringing money to the table, then it's like a partnership, right? But before it gets to marriage, you have the courtship, the relationship. And I would say overwhelmingly, in most men's experience, in my experience, besides the one BPD simp girl that I had, most women really aren't spoiling men in the same way that men will spoil women.
Our resource is time, though, because for us, time is something that we can't get back. So if we're gonna be committed to you, like really, I'm not talking about like girls that aren't faithful, but if we're gonna be really committed to you, and we're going to like invest our time in you, then I think that's a big resource for us.
That's actually a very, very fair point. And yes, I would say that. So you're saying like giving us your youth, basically.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
I think that's a fair point.
Yeah. And
But
then
speaking just like on the financial side of it, women don't really share their resources with men the same way that men share their resources with women.
I think a healthy relationship, honestly, like I think could be like maybe like 60-40, 70-30. Like I think men always do like realistically put in more in a relationship, but it's not like once you're in the relationship, it's not as imbalanced as like the guy pays for every date.
Right.
You know, like when the relationships I've been in, it's been like maybe like the guys pay for like when we go out, but then I get Postmates when we order in. You know,
Okay.
the guys get like the airfare on the trip, and then I'll get the hotel and the food and stuff. So I think it kind of evens out.
Maybe you're well,
I think for most girls it's like that, because once you're in a relationship, you don't want to take advantage of your guy. Like you don't want him to suffer financially because you're a team. Again, like if you see him long term, you don't want to put a dent in his pocket, because that means like you're not gonna be able to get the house that you want. You're not gonna be able to like go on like the nice honeymoon you want to go on. So like you're thinking for you guys in the long term as well.
And there's definitely a lot of women that are like that, but there are also women that will have that expectation, even moving beyond the first date, moving into a relationship, that he's going to continue providing for everything. He'll pay the whole thing.
I don't know. I feel like it's like throughout the relationship, even if the guy is the breadwinner, the woman, like a stay-at-home mom or something, she's going to be like she sacrifices her body for the kid, stays at home, takes care of the kid. Like there's also that part of like his life that she takes care of completely,
Sure.
so that he can go out and make the money.
Yeah.
So I think it does even out in the end. It's just like whether or not you want to think short term or long term.